Guys, bear with us for a moment. We're going to get everyone back on the line here. We're going to go ahead and get this kind of streamlined and get it spliced so this looks almost seamless. But bear with us for a moment. We're just waiting for Ryan and Bobby to get back online with us. And guys, just an FYI, if you happen to be in contact with Ryan or Bobby, go ahead and have them check their Twitter accounts. We just sent a message with their new links. Guys, we'll be back on in just a moment. We're just waiting for Ryan and Bobby to give us a new join on the new links we sent them via Twitter. Bear with us. We'll get everything back up. We're going to go ahead and start another countdown here. Give us a few, and we'll be right back. Boom. Okay, folks, we are back to it. Ryan, thank you for joining us, sir.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Round two.
Round two,
Thanks
fight.
for having us back.
Absolutely. Glad to have you back. Well, now, unfortunately, I feel like we lost Bobby and unfortunately, we lost Bronze, but that's okay. We
Oh,
can
they're
go
coming.
ahead and just do this one on one, brother.
No, he's yeah, we can. Snoop says or Bobby, he said that he's it says waiting on host.
He's got to use, I just want to make sure that he's using a new link.
Okay. Yeah, he is.
Um, Hold on now. Well, let's take a look. Bear with me. Let me just take a look. We got a little bit of time here, folks, because we're going to go ahead and splice this out, and then you're not going to see any of this nonsense
Yep.
when you're replaying it.
Yeah, he said he's in the waiting room.
All right, hold on now. Where is he at? Never mind. They found it. So I think obviously we got folks watching us live. I just sent him a new link. I just want to make sure that he's able to see it. I'm going to go ahead and stand by. This is on Twitter. Now, of course, we can always have some of the audience join us as well if you're feeling a little bit spicy.
Oh,
But,
sure. We have a no FUD policy in FINU, meaning you can say anything you want. It's not FUD to us because we don't hide anything. And we've got
there
answers.
it is.
So
I love
AMA,
it.
all you want.
Well, all right. So, well, then I'll tell you what. The link that we sent you, if you get that out to your community, they're actually join us live here, and we can pull them in, make it a little bit interesting.
Yeah, I'll throw that in Telegram. All right.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Oh, there it
We
is,
got some
Bobby.
good. We got some good people too. We got some good people, bro.
We got some smart dudes, man. People talking there,
Man,
and
how
I'm
could
like,
they not be?
I'm out of my depth on that one.
That's what
Especially
you
with
want.
what's that?
I feel like that's what you want. You want folks in your community that have good head on the shoulder. They're the ones that are going to go ahead and get the rest of the word out.
Yeah, they've been. I mean, I think they've been amazing. I think everyone has. We've been very open about saying, hey, everyone is here to make money, buy, sell. We don't wallet shame. You can drop links to other projects. You can talk about your own business if you want. It's kind of like the Starbucks of telegrams. Just come and chill and hang out. And but because our project is the first of its kind, it takes a little bit of effort to educate yourself, right? And most people are lazy. So the people we do have in there, you're like, dude, you're a nuclear engineer. Like one of the dudes, I'm like, dude, you're so smart. I feel like such an idiot. But I think we've really created a nice community in there where anyone can come, you can hang out, and they all work so hard with shilling and rating and a lot of work in DMs.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like that's exactly what you need. You need diversity. Diversity of thoughts. And it doesn't matter if you're the low on totem or high on totem. Everything in between is extremely important. It takes a village, as they say. And there's
Yeah,
truth to that. So
yeah, yeah. It's cool, and it also offers man, what we're doing, and when you combine crypto like with what we've defined as a brand coin, not just what it does but how it does it, uh having hundreds or thousands of people talking about your company 6 months before it ever launches, uh and they're, I mean, not paying me, but like they're paying you, right? Like they're buying in. um I mean, you're not going to find that anywhere else. And we're all working for our bags. And um, Yeah, I mean, it's really unique what's going on with FINU, and how integrating a token in so many different ways like we are is such a game changer when you compare it against like a traditional real life, fiat business. When you say, oh, okay, well, this is what business 2.0 looks like. That's what FINU's doing. At the end of the road, you're going to go, oh, FINU pioneered that. That's why we do business though the way that we do today.
Love it. Absolutely. Yeah. No, well said. Now I don't know if any of your folks are going to be joining us. Of course, they can jump in anytime.
Sure.
Um, but I think what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and kick it right off at the top. I'm going to pull up the tokenomics here, and that's where we're going to kind of start off at, because that's where we unfortunately left off. Let me know that you guys can see that. Okay. All right.
Yes, loud and clear.
Boom. There it is. All right. So now taking a look at it, looks like you guys have a total supply of 1 billion. Is that right?
Yep, that's it. We got 1 billion. It's going to stay 1 billion. There's no burning, and there's no other gimmicks or shenanigans. It'll be 1 billion forever.
Billion forever. There it is. Well said. Max supply 1 billion. Circulating supply 900 million. Now,
Yep.
taking a look at some of the taxes here, looks like you got a buy tax of 0%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, going back to the 90% in circulation, the other 10% is being held back for exchanges, which I think we talked about that before we got cut off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
Right.
sure. Okay. So, yeah, we're at a 0.5 tax. We launched with a 6.9. I'm probably going to revert back to saying, well, as a brand coin, but one of the differences in the mechanics of the taxes is that, again, traditionally, you've got your marketing wallet, you've got your dev wallet, volume comes in, there's taxes on one or both sides. And that money goes into the wallets. Marketing is to market the crypto and grow it, right? But the dev wallet goes to pay the team, or sometimes just the founder. And so, you end up in tax farms. That's bottom line. Is the only thing that helps is the dev. With us, we actually, FINU wouldn't work if we did that. Like if we ran taxes the way that traditionally they are run, this whole thing wouldn't work. So our 0.5, and like I said, we start at 6.9 and we ratcheted down. But as that money comes in from the taxes, we use that to, one, market the crypto side of the house, but then two, the dev wallet is actually the development wallet, the business development wallet. So no one gets paid out of that. And it goes to actually build a real life company. And as profits are generated and the company grows, we'll ratchet down the taxes until we get to 0.0. And it'll just stay there. And, I think eventually the contract around the same time probably gets renounced, and, we're off, next phase of FINU.
Yeah, for sure. Taking a look at this, if you guys were to go ahead and go on to dextools.io and take a look at the contract, on the left hand side, you're going to indicate, and it's going to tell you all the good and bad, and kind of in red, it's going to indicate that this is taxable, or that the taxes can be adjusted. And I think that is something that you kind of spoke to, right? You kind of want to eventually decrease those taxes, but you know honestly, there's a number of ways that you got to pay attention to the things that is being said here. One, we want to make sure that this is being lowered, is what you were saying, Brian. You want to make sure that we're able to lower the taxes. Understand, if the taxes are fixed within the contract, then Ryan can't reduce those taxes to zero typically. Now, you guys are typically topping this out. Is that right? You guys are reducing the amount of taxes that you can increase this to.
Yeah. So when the contract was written, the contract dev is very well known in crypto for a few years now. Been on some really high profile projects that have run into hundreds of millions, and just a great guy. Dude's just solid. But when I decided to launch FINU, it's actually the one thing that I've never done in crypto in 13 years, 13, almost 13, 12 years. I've never run a project. I never wanted to. So when I did this, it's one thing to read a contract, and it's one thing to do all the stuff you do as a holder, as like a sophisticated holder, which you do the same things I've noticed. It is an entirely other thing to be a project dev and founder. And these are the things that you do, you never experience on the investor side, right? So I went to this guy who I knew wrote contracts from tokens I had been in, and I just said, look, this is what I'm doing. I'm launching. I won't pretend to know how to write Solidity or what the contract should be. So I just said, hey, make it like that contract, but I want to make these changes because it's all about the holders and the chart, right? Focus on others. You'll be just fine. So as a team, we said, okay, we're gonna only do things that are good in the long term, and if we can, those that are good in the short term and the long term. But those decisions that are good for them, right? And so that's where taxes come into play. That's where active LP management comes into play. But here, that's where the tax limitations come in that you're talking about, and that is, it's written into the contract that you cannot have taxes higher than 10%.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's smart. And I think that it's important to talk about. It's important for not only the holders, if they haven't done their own research, and shame on them if they haven't, but if the holders, but also any new potential investors getting into it, they're seeing that you have this ability to modify taxes. Now, if they are smart, they are taking a look deep into the contract and being able to recognize that. But unfortunately, it's difficult. It's not always that easy, and it's hard, and it can be sophisticated to try to understand what that looks like. But getting that word out there is crucial, because folks are going to see that adjustable tax rate and they're going to say, well, okay, I'm out. It's not worth it. It's a pull.
Yeah, totally.
That's a good point too. Because I'm sorry to interrupt, Ryan, but
no.
Because if you pull up CoinGecko as well, guys, like it has that banner at the top of CoinGecko.
Yeah,
and
CMC,
obviously it's the warning, adjustable taxes. So that's really great that you brought that up, because that's super important. It's hard coded. That cannot be changed. There's certain things that are written in the contract.
Snoop, let's talk about why.
Hell yeah.
And we'll lay the foundation this way of, for a brand coin, you have to have taxes to like be what we're saying is a brand coin, like truly 100%. You need the volume, you need the tax revenue so that you can go and build the project and the real company. But when you look at these things on Dex tools or Token Sniffer or whatever, they definitely are good for like 90% of projects out there, maybe more. But when it comes to ours, it just says, hey, this is adjustable. Well, it's only adjustable up to a max of 10%. And as you said, it's one thing to go in and read a contract, but to like really understand it. I learned a lot. I learned a lot doing this, and our contract dev taught me so much, because we went through, and I on tokenomics, I said, hey, what about that? What about that? What could we do here? And it was all what's best for holders, what's best for the chart. So we did things that were like anti-bot. If you notice, we've never had a single bot buy our chart once.
That's right.
I went through to verify this. Even when we launched, bots weren't buying.
Yeah, bro.
Because the way
it's amazing.
Yeah. So tokenomics are there. There's like a 2-block lag. You could sell, but you got to wait 2 blocks before that wallet can sell again. Right. So we spent a lot of time going through all of the pain points of a holder, because I got rugged. That's why I'm here. I got rugged for like the 5,000th time, and I've had it. I'm just done. So I said, okay, these are all the things that our industry hates. This is what I hate. I'm just going to make the project that I would put my money into and that I'd be a total fanboy of, which I did. I put 100% of my entire crypto portfolio in FINU, and I've never bought anything else. But again, going back to tokenomics is, we are being done a disservice on there. But on the same hand there, when we get a chance to do podcasts like this or AMAs or VCs or whatever, we get a chance to talk, and it's like, oh, that's why it's adjustable and you can still touch it. Oh, it can't go higher than 10. Okay. Oh, you actively manage the LP. Okay. But right, when you look at it from the front,
that's when you get that little light bulb that goes off in certain people, guys, and they're like, whoa, bullish.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've been trying to tell you that everything is done because it's you want to succeed. You want to be in your lane, like we were talking about before. You want to be able to drive down the highway, not all of a sudden hit the dirt road and be like, dang, I just busted a tire and an axle. No, we want to just keep pouring gas and drive down the road.
All projects end in zero when they don't generate any revenue. Like outside of taxes, if they're not doing that, they end in zero. I don't care how cool the idea is. There's no value for people.
That's what it is.
That was a big part of, part of all of this. Here, I'm just, dude, where's our roadmap? There it is, our blueprint. We called it the blueprint because it's car related. But where do you want to go next, Tex? What do you want to talk
about? Why don't we start there then, brother? I mean, so we got the roadmap up now. Let's see here. Now, actually, hold on. Do I have this up right here?
Dude, this is old too, so I'll probably on the fly make some updates to whatever you bring up.
No, for sure. So this is the roadmap that is currently on the on your document here, and it's going over the points. Now, I don't know if there's anything in particular you want to point out here.
No, I would just say I'll probably hit on one or two things, but in general, again, we spent about 6 weeks before launching, meeting daily and throughout the day. Me and Night Addict is how anyone would know him on Twitter or Telegram. But we spent a lot of time just talking through what this was going to be. Now, we didn't know Brandcoin till 2 weeks after we launched, and we didn't know that we were just going to be FINU and not Formula INU. So those things changed. But what didn't change is the idea that, okay, we've got to go out and create value, things that people want to give us their money for. So on the roadmap, you're seeing what we thought we were going to do back in early November, the couple weeks prior to launching. And so when we go through this, like if anyone's watching this and you've seen tweets where it's like, they've got 8 revenue streams and they're doing this, it's like, well, we just listed 8 product categories that we felt like we could innovate in and sell things in. But really the name of the game is, let's make innovative products in a massive industry with the goal of truly being $1 billion market cap company that can actually hold its value and its market cap. And let's start buying pieces of race teams of all kinds of racing. Let's be involved in esports. Let's do these things. So as you go through the roadmap, you'll see NFTs. Why NFTs? Well, we've got a Disney artist, he's a DreamWorks guy. He's been at Warner Brothers, all sorts of things for 35 years. Well, he's on the advisory board. We've actually got a stellar advisory board, but he's designing the NFTs, but they got to do something, right? Well, if we're creating these characters, we already made the FINUverse. So behind the scenes, we have a story. It's been written. We have a universe we've created, but I've made mobile games, plush toys. I've done a lot of like that kind of stuff in entertainment. So when I look at that, I go, okay, well, if each character has a compelling story, well, why not do graphic comics? I made a TV show and movies a few years back, and so I got to learn about the entertainment industry. And my movie was in theaters nationwide. We were #1 when we launched, and so I learned a lot. And so I look at this and I'm like, well, Finn, the main character, Finn Speedseeker, you can write all this content. And if you do it right, like it's going to make a ton of money. Okay. So, I'm only going to highlight the NFTs unless there's another one you want to go into. But with these NFTs, we're treating them like people. So Finn Speedseeker, the main character out of 16 characters in the FINUverse, and it's all racing, right? Like it's all about racing for good against evil and all that kind of stuff. But
love it.
If you're making content, Finn is no different than Brad Pitt in real life, right? Like you're going and you're acting. That's what our fake, Finn Speedseeker character is doing. Well, Brad Pitt has a manager and he has an agency. The manager and the agency both get paid when he goes and does a movie. Okay. Holders are no different than the manager and the agency, right? So I just thought, why don't we do NFTs with the universe? It'll be around racing. It'll be in alignment with what we're doing as a brand. But if you own an NFT, like a Finn NFT, say 1 of 100 or 1 of 1,000. Well, if Finn is in an animated series on Netflix, which is the plan for part of the FINUverse is to end up there, then let's say he gets paid $1 million and there's 1,000 holders. Well, if a percent of that money is going back to the NFT holder, right? And it's perpetual because it's just content, right? It lives forever. Then you've really got, like I said, you got to create value. If people are if it's so good, people are willing to pay for comics and toys or whatever, or the mobile game, which is not Web3. The mobile game is going to be in the Apple Store, Android Store, and people are going to pay real money for it. Right.
Well,
but then that money goes back to holders. And so, that's one of the things in there.
To be fair, listen, anything that you see or touts Web3 these days, it's not there. Anything that I've seen from any developer, legit developer that is touting Web3, it's sticks and stones, folks. We are not even close to Web3. Let's call it Web 2.5 if we want to call it something. We're almost to that breaking point. There's a lot of creativity in the space and it's heading us in the right direction. What we want is, and you spoke to this earlier, you want the moms, you want the pops getting involved. First things first, let's focus in on, it's great we're focusing in on the 5-10% that's into crypto. Let's focus in on the 90%. And what FINU is doing is focusing on the 90%. Let's get the folks in App Store. Man, I tell you, you get that out there, that is one way you're going to go ahead and just break on through the stratosphere.
Well, there's no money in Web3. That's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. I agree. There isn't. Not yet.
It's
not where it needs to be.
No, we'd be ready for it. We'll be ready for it. We're ready. We're already dialing in those ideas too. Like, the building racetracks in different metaverses where
we started that already.
You can tour and we'll have, the Moon Tropica 500. One of our partners is developing a metaverse, a PvP, pretty cool Zelda game. Almost looks like, nostalgic. I really like what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But again, to be ready for it, yes, we have our sights set on doing these races like a season, like a real season.
Yeah, in Web3, like
only in the
a
metaverse.
FINU league, Metaverse Racing League, where in 10 different metaverses we'll have 10 different tracks branded out. FINU will partner, we'll hold a league, an annual racing season in the league. But we've also got an iRacing event coming up in about 6 weeks. We'll be hosting a FINU race. Oh, I hope this didn't just rug.
No. That's me. I'm just getting off video because it's just
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah. But iRacing has 6.9 million users. And so we just thought, well, you could advertise and go through the front door and pay through the nose. Or for $10, you could just start your own racing league and have cash prizes. And you're going to spend way less and you're going to get way more eyeballs. So we're going
after the 90%.
That's it.
Right, exactly. And again, that's why it's like
or 10, 12%, whatever it is.
Sure,
15% there.
Yeah.
Keep
but
chipping
really,
away. Take bites.
Yeah, but really it comes back to this, like, regardless of what's on the roadmap, fundamentally, it just goes back to, as a brand coin, we started as a crypto, we launched a real life company. Now we're making products in real life and in Web3 or whatever, just physical and digital products, okay, regardless of where they live. And so with that, that's always where our mind is what we're doing good for holders? Is this going to increase value? It's really the same as any company. Is there a return on investment that's going to be it's going to be profitable or strategic to achieve our goals as a company? And that's where I said from the beginning, some of this roadmap might disappear. For all I know, we might never do NFTs, games, or animated, whatever. Maybe we don't ever, do something because it just, when you get there, sort of like the business battlefield has changed, right? And so you just gotta change your direction, pivot, right?
Yeah, you have to keep it liquid. You have to keep it liquid, and you have to pivot to where the market is moving. The market is moving so quickly in this space, whether it's AI or NFT or, if it's tokenomic, rather DeFi, etc.
Yeah.
You just need to go where the market is moving in order to.
And you know what? Let me, I always forget to touch on the basics, and I should have done this in the beginning, but I'm working on that. I always get into like this stuff, like tokenomics and business stuff, and but I think it's good for people to know that if we got rid of the crypto side of the house, right, and we just said, okay, what does your company do? Well, we make products for the auto industry, motorsports, esports, and we're just at every turn we're connecting to anything with an engine or a GPU or a motor where two or more people are racing. And so if you go to finuglobal.com, you'll be able to see the consumer brand, and you can buy products today. We already launched, we have 1 patent on it, 2 patent pending. We have a ton of intellectual property. It's the world's first modular cargo net system for passenger vehicles, trailers. But here's the thing: why is an auto company that's like connecting to racing, which is super cool, and crypto, and we came out of the gate saying we're going to do animated series, we're going to do products, all this stuff. Why did we pick a boring net? Well, because we did research, and it turns out the cargo net market in the US alone is approaching $1 billion, and its year-over-year growth rate is about 7%. It's compounding growth annually. It's crazy. And so now go look at the cargo nets on the market, and what you'll find is They really haven't changed too much in decades. And there's a lot of pain points to them. And so that to me is opportunity. There's no true brands, CargoNet brands, in the truest sense of, technically what a brand is. There's one who's like sub brand, and all the rest are Chinese imports or from some other country. And so as FINU, we said, oh, okay, well, this will be our first product because it's innovative. We're innovating in a dusty, old, boring industry, and it's part of the auto industry, right? So the site has a long way to go. We just launched it. If you're familiar with e-commerce, is kind of just how it goes. But this thing will start looking pretty sexy as the next 2 to 3 months roll by. We've got about between accessories and main products, we've got about 15 that'll be coming out before the end of the year. UI UX will improve. We'll start building out all the real estate on the site. But again, for people who aren't familiar with us, that's really what we're doing. We've got the crypto side, which we manage, but then totally like separately, we're going out and the same team is having to build a crypto brand and a consumer product brand.
Love it. I think it's and you guys are all, you have to be in multiple different areas, right? It's just like anything else. Call it Coca-Cola, call it Pepsi. You can't just focus on one thing. It has to have variety. Now, you guys are expanding into the call it physical space outside of the crypto space, but that absolutely makes sense because the two are supposed to be together, folks.
Yes,
You
that's
have
exactly
to
it.
have one. You cannot have you cannot be isolated here. And if you understand that, then you get it. If you don't, look into it further.
Well,
And
that's a big part, Tex, is we haven't done it yet publicly, but behind the scenes, before we even launched, what we said was, this is not crypto over here and a company over there, like a consumer brand selling real things for fiat. They're not separate the way that we view them on the team. I don't view them as separate where everyone else would, where it's like, oh, you have XRP and then you have Ripple. They're totally separate. That's how every single crypto is. Well, with this, it's seamless. And when the internet started, people used to discuss, like, they would talk about the website and they would say, oh, are you talking about Coke and their website, or are you talking about Coke? And if you're old enough, you'll remember that, like, it wasn't integral as part of our sort of DNA in life. The internet wasn't. Now you say Coke, and what else do you think other than Coke.com or Nike.com, right? That they just live digitally like that. Well, we're saying the same thing. It's kind of the internet, the way that was, where right now everyone's talking about, oh, it's Web3 over here, but it's traditional real life or fiat over here. We're just saying, no, this all works together in a seamless way. And so I don't like talking about, oh, the token over here and the consumer brand. We do it publicly because it's easier to just have that conversation or have conversations with people. But really, that token, when you implement the token into the most integral and deep aspects of a company, there are things that have never been done before that are about to happen this month or next, that you just couldn't do because tokens didn't exist, blockchain didn't exist. So you couldn't do the things that FINU is about to do, here coming up in the next week or months. We'll be the first one in history to do it. But I want people to, as the years go by, this is just what business is. It just is, right? It's just one seamless thing.
that's right. It is the next evolution of it all. You guys are starting it here. You guys are watching this. When you're watching this, if you're watching this live, this is truly the basement for this company and the future of it all. So Ryan, thank you for joining us. Bobby, thank you for joining us. Now we got Appealing Protocol. Appealing, you with us there, sir, ma'am?
Jake,
No,
Jake,
Jake.
you
Yeah,
on?
Jake's here.
Jake,
I don't
is there
know if he's
anything you
able
joined
to
us live?
jump on.
Anything you want to say to these fine folks? Any questions? Anything you want to bring up?
There he is.
Hey everybody. Hey Tex. Great to be on here.
Absolutely. Happy to have you, sir.
We are a very, very proud partner. We are the official charity arm of FINU. So they were actually our first donation. We take donations through us and then we really market it, raising more awareness for the charity rather than just, individuals donating straight to their website. Or so we try to empower it even more, so then the major thing is the eyes get the awareness. And they were the first to do it through us. They support us and we believe in them. They believe in us, very mutually. We bounce off each other incredibly. Ryan, I feel like he's just a big brother to me. We connect on so many levels, and I launched Appealing Protocol for the same reasons. I got so tired of getting rugged. I worked, really hard for my investments, and I try to go above and beyond, and I'm usually on the team, and so it's pretty hard to see not only financially get wrecked, but your time, that's what really stings. So
Yeah, and let me point out, Jake. I'll sell you. I'll sell you to other projects, but why we partnered is Bobby, or others know him as Snoop on in crypto Twitter, but Bobby would not shut up about Jake and Peel. He just wouldn't stop. And finally, I got annoyed, and I'm like, all right, I got to go learn about this. After like a month of him just going on and on, and then I looked into it, and I'm like. And no, actually, I wasn't that negative. I was like, well, if it matters to Bobby, then let me go check it out. But when I looked at it, I thought, oh, okay, this is actually really cool. And we're really picky and selective about projects that we partner with. But just like in real life, you should be picky. But why we partnered with Peel is because they take the giving. Like all the work that is required to give. When you're just a person donating to charity, you just write a check and you're done, right? But as a business, it's not like that. Like you could do that, but you have a responsibility to grow the company, and so it's a marketing opportunity. Well, that is so much work to extract the value out of that, and so that's where Jake comes in, where it's like, okay, we'll send you the money for the donation, we'll tell you the charity we want it to go to, but you're going to facilitate everything so that we don't have to lift a finger and spend any of our time doing it. But you're going to go to work for getting us eyeballs and marketing this thing. And I think Jake's ahead of the curve when it comes to the future of giving. There's other projects that look sexier, but I've looked at them. They might look good, right, from the outside, but they're poison on the inside, or they're destined for zero. Whereas this isn't. But I think that highlights our philosophy and where our mindset is as a project in FINU, is that we partner with like-minded ones who are doing something valuable, not just a gimmick in crypto, like so many.
Yeah, and there it is. There it is. Now we got Appealing Protocol up on the screen here. That's now this is the Twitter. Of course, it's at the Appealing One, and that's one as in ONE. If you haven't checked it out, we're going to make sure that we have all the links down in the links below in YouTube as we move forward. We got to make sure we check this out. There's a huge shout out to Jake and team with them, and of course Ryan, Bobby, Anything else you guys want to say tonight to these fine folks?
Bobby, you want to go first, and then I'll go after you?
I'd love to. Thank you. Yes, I'd like to say for everybody to really give things a thought. To get involved into the space. Give some thought, do your research, and understand that there are more projects in the space that are developing and growing to do good and to thrust the whole space into unification and adaptation into the world. And FINU has really taken a really big part of my heart, because I know the vision and I know the ethic behind it, that it's an honor to be a part of the team here. It's an honor to be able to speak to everybody today, and it's really good to have Jake on with us too. Appealing Protocol, ticker Peel, just amazing people that just work hard. It's great to be with such a wonderful group of people. So thank you everybody for your time is what I want to end with. I got another thing,
and there it is,
but
we can't say that here.
I can't say it here, so I'm gonna just say thank you again.
What are you gonna swing? You gonna sing something for us, or no?
No, we always, the reason he's going first, he usually goes second and takes us out of spaces or VC, because what we end on is let's effing race, or we're here to F crap up. So if he can't,
I love it. Now here's the thing. We so those of you that are maybe watching this recorded, we had a little bit of technical difficulty. So I think what we can do is, since we need to do a little bit of slicing, maybe we do a little bit of bleeping as well.
Okay.
So
well, let's.
I think maybe maybe we could have Ryan go, and then Bobby, you do your thing, and we're just going to do a little bit of modification.
Nice.
So that we can still remain on YouTube and keep our ratings clean.
Yep. Well, as long as my daughter can see it, and I don't get in trouble for a bad word, then I'm good with that.
There it is.
That's kind of my rule is PG-13. That's the limit. Well, let me just say thanks for having us on. I actually mean that. It's not, I'm not just blowing a hot air. We have been fighting for 7 months in the space, and we have the most success on AMAs, spaces, just anywhere that we can be seen and heard. We really need that to be successful, and so I'm incredibly grateful that that Bobby was able to swindle you into this. He did a great job. And
oh, come on now. Listen, we are more than thankful to have you guys on with us tonight. And this project is near and dear to my heart in several different reasons. And I don't know if anyone knows this, but made by veterans. What does that mean?
To me? Are you asking me?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I spent,
tell the folks a little bit more.
Yeah, I spent about 10 years on active duty military in the Army. And I started as a special operations aviator. And then I did that for about 6 years. And then I did about 4 years as an engineer officer with a specialty in demolitions. And so if anyone's familiar with that, I was a officer over a sapper unit. And we just cruised around with special operations again, and we were their demo assets for a long time. So I did that. I was enlisted, and I was also an officer. And yeah, that's it. I think we're one of the few
right there, folks.
Few,
and you really are. You're one of the few that's and honestly, Ryan, thank you for your service. Thank you for all you do for us and our country. It means a lot to myself. It means to a lot to I know that are watching. So
thanks,
folks. You got to check this out now, Bobby. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to you, brother. You want to send us off into the sunset?
All right, guys, you got a copy on this? This is FINU Crypto. The first brand coin, the only brand coin in the space. Let's fucking race, baby. We are here to fuck shit up. Let's go.
Boom. And there it is.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, you heard it here, folks. Go ahead and check these guys out. All of our links will be down below. YouTube. Guys, thank you for joining us. We want you guys back. We'd love to have you back next month, next week. You tell us. You just tell us when you want to come back on, but we really appreciate all you guys do. Keep it up. Keep the space moving forward. Ryan, Jake, Bobby, thank you.
Thanks.